Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay. So today I had some network issues, was unable to connect. Okay. Okay. So in our earlier class, we have discussed about the hit and trial method for balancing of the chemical equation. So we have done couple of examples. Next, example number 3, that is iron reacts with water to form iron oxide plus releases hydrogen gas. So this is the skeleton equation. It need to be balanced. So all of you remember that first we will write the name of the elements. Okay, here we have the iron, hydrogen and oxygen. On the reactant side, okay, reactant side and the product side. So number of iron atoms are 1, here there are 2, here hydrogens are 2, here also hydrogens are 2, oxygen is 1, oxygen is 3. Okay, so first we will write in this way. After that we will start to balance the equation. So first we will look at the iron. Iron is in the product side, there are 2. So in order to balance that, what we will do, we will multiply this side with 2. Okay, because here 2 iron atoms are there. First we are looking at the metal. We will multiply with 2 so that both side 2 iron atoms are there. Next we will look at the oxygen. Here 1 and 3. Okay, so in order to balance this one, what we need to do, on the water side we need to multiply with 3. Okay, because here in the product side oxygen is 3, here it is 1. So we will multiply with 3, and after that we will see if remaining is a hydrogen, no, whether it is balanced or not. 3 2 are 6, and here it is only 2 hydrogens. So in order to balance that one, we have to multiply with the 3. Here also it becomes 6. Okay, so in this way, by hit and trial method, the simple equations can be balanced much easily. But sometimes the more complex equations, it is not so much suited. Okay, we will see some one more example. There are two more example, 4 and 5. Okay, all of these examples you have to practice. Next is the ammonium chloride reacts with calcium hydroxide to give rise to calcium chloride plus ammonia plus water. Okay, this is the skeleton equation. So the same thing we will do. Element is the nitrogen, hydrogen, chlorine.
Sir, your voice is lagging.
It's a breaking, no? Yeah, today I don't know, the network issue is a lot of problem is there. So that is the reason I have also switched off my video so that more bandwidth can come for what you are seeing on the screen and what I am speaking. Mm, okay. So in the elements we have the nitrogen, hydrogen, chlorine, calcium and oxygen. So now you can write on the reactant side and product side how many atoms are there. Okay, here is 1, here also 1, hydrogen 4 plus 2 6, and here 3 plus 2 5, chlorine 1, chlorine 2, calcium 1 1, oxygen 2, and here it is 1. Okay, it is correct, is it correct? Okay, write yourself.
Yes, sir.
Now what we will do is, now we will start the balancing process. So here first we are looking at the very electronegative atom, that is the chlorine. Okay, so in ammonium chloride, here there is the one chlorine but calcium chloride having two chlorines. So to balance we will put 2 here. Next, to equalize the nitrogen, so calcium is over. Next we are looking at nitrogen. Nitrogen is both side 1 1, but now after we multiplied here it has become two nitrogens. Okay, it has become the two nitrogens, and therefore to balance here also what we will do is we will make it the 2. Next, oxygen, here two oxygens are there, here one oxygen is there. So in order to balance the oxygens, what we will do is we will multiply the will calcium hydroxide. Okay, this side we have to multiply the in order to balance this we have to multiply the water by 2 here.
मारेंगे तो हम लोग उधर थे हमको लगा कि हम इधर नहीं आ सकते
Okay, please switch off your microphone. Okay, so in this way we are now comparing. Okay, you can now multiply and see what is the number of atoms on the reactant side and product side. Okay, the same now the equation for potassium dichromate with hydrochloric acid HCl. Okay, this equation you can practice at home. Okay, you can practice this equation that is given in the textbook. We will look at the one important limitation, that is hit and trial method, is that just because we are balancing the equation does not mean it is the actual equation. For example, copper is
Sir, your voice is again.
breaking, no?
No, sir, it's okay.
Okay, so copper is reacting with sulfuric acid H2SO4, okay, to give rise to copper sulfate plus hydrogen. So this is one skeleton equation, but by looking at this equation, if you just balance that does not mean that it is a real equation, because what happens actually is that the copper is not able to remove the hydrogen from sulfuric acid. Okay, so actually what real reaction we are getting is copper is reacting with sulfuric acid to release the sulfur dioxide and form the water. So experimentally this is what actually takes place. Okay, so even if you balance this equation, it does not mean that this is the real equation. So that is a limitation of this kind of reaction. Okay, so we can this one can be balanced. Okay, this is one limitation. The other limitations of this hit and trial method is that it takes a lot of time to balance the complicated equations. Very long equations are there, so many elements are there, then it takes a lot of time to balance it. Okay, the third one is that the mechanism, okay, how this reaction is taking place, what are the steps of this reaction, that we cannot understand by the hit and trial method. We are only trying to balance the number of atoms on the left side and right side, so mechanism is the not clear. So that is overall hit and trial method, which is useful for balancing of the simple equations. Okay, for balancing of the simple equations we can use the hit and trial method. There is another method, that is the partial equation method. So as the name suggests, a partial equation. Okay, so a certain reaction can take place in steps. Okay, for example, the liberation of iodine from potassium iodide. Okay, by reacting it with a hydrogen peroxide. So let us see, hydrogen peroxide formula will be hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. Okay, H2O2 peroxide ion, O2 2 minus, so this is hydrogen peroxide. So it will decompose to give rise to water, and it will liberate what we say the nascent oxygen. So nascent oxygen means nothing but it is in the atomic state, it is not molecule O2, so we call it as the nascent oxygen. So first is the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, first step. Second, what happens is this nascent oxygen, okay, that oxidizes the potassium iodide in the presence of water to give iodine and potassium hydroxide. So potassium iodide is there, it is reacting with this, okay, water and nascent oxygen to give rise to the potassium hydroxide, and it will release the iodine. Okay, so in two steps this reaction is taking place. First is the decomposition of the hydrogen peroxide to release water and nascent oxygen. This water and nascent oxygen is reacting with the potassium iodide to give rise to potassium hydroxide, and iodine vapor will come. So here the balancing, we balance the equation. When we take these two equations together, okay, you can use these two equations together, and then you see here on the left side, reactant side, 2 potassium iodide and H2O2 is there one time. Okay, now here H2O and nascent oxygen, that is there on both the left side and right side of the equation 1 and 2, so you can cancel this. Okay, this can be cancelled, and then you will put the arrow here, potassium hydroxide 2 moles plus iodine. Okay, so in this way, by writing the partial equation method for some of the chemical reactions, okay, we can understand the mechanism of how this reaction was taking place, and by writing this partial equations we can write the overall equation, the balanced equation. Okay, this one, anyone has doubt, anything? Okay, all of you followed? Okay, the hit and trial method is suitable for the simple equations. Partial equation method is suitable for some equations where we can understand the mechanism of the reaction. So a certain reaction can take place in steps. Okay, like here we are seeing that the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide will take place, and this water and nascent oxygen is going to react with potassium iodide. So that is why we wrote first as two separate equations, and then we have seen what is there on the left side and right side of equation 1 and 2. What are common are there, we have strike it off, and then we have written this equation. So here only 2 Ki potassium iodide with hydrogen peroxide gives rise to potassium hydroxide plus iodine. Okay. Okay, so next is what information we can get from a
Excuse me,
balanced.
sir.
Yeah,
So it's not necessary, that we have to use partial method only. If we want, we can use hit and trial method. No, it will. It's not. It will be not be mentioned. No, that we have to use this method only.
yeah, it, you see, it depends upon, like, examination point of view, the question will be very specific, whether you have to write the partial equation and then you have to write, that is one thing. The other thing is that how we are using this method. The purpose generally in examination is that you have to balance the equation. So generally they won't tell you use this method only to balance the equation. Generally it is not asked like that. It is asked that you have to balance the equation, whether you use hit and trial method. So generally whatever the common equations are there, like in your textbook 5 equations are there that you have to practice well. Other than that one, in your exercises also there are a few equations, those you will practice. So simple equations, whatever simple equations are there, hit and trial method, generally you will get result fast. Okay, then for the some equations which are complicated equations, for that one partial equation method may be more useful. It may be more useful. So that one example has been given here. So we'll write in the partial equation 1, partial equation 2, and then we will balance that one. So whatever is common are there compounds on left side and right side of the equation, those things we will strike it and we will write. That is the partial equation method. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So now what is the information that we are getting from the bal balanced chemical equation? Now for example, there is this balanced chemical equation in which sodium hydroxide, okay, it is a base, it is reacting with acid sulfuric acid. So acid and base react to form salt and water. Okay, this is base, this is acid. Okay, both of these are reacting to form salt. Okay, sodium sulfate, salt and water. Now from the above equation what we are able to tell, one, we are able to tell that what is the actual result of this equation, of this reaction. Okay, sodium hydroxide with sulfuric acid, you are able to tell what is the product formed. Second thing, the reactants that are involved in the products that are formed as a result of the reaction. Okay, you know what are the reactants and products. The number of molecules of each substance taking part and formed in the reaction. Okay, now here there are the two molecules of sodium hydroxide, one molecule of sulfuric acid. They will react, that means two molecules of sodium hydroxide reacting with one molecule of sodium hydroxide. And what it is giving, it is giving one molecule of sodium sulfate and one molecule of water. Okay, so here it should be two molecules, two molecules of water. Okay, so we are able to tell that what is the ratio of the reaction. One molecule of a reactant is reacting with how many molecules of other reactant, and after the reaction how many molecules of product are formed, this also we are able to tell. Also about the chemical composition of the respective molecule. Okay, so here you are able to write the, because it is a chemical equation, it is not a skeleton equation and it is not the word equation, it is a chemical equation. So in a chemical equation we have to write the formula. So because we wrote the formula, then we know that how many atoms are there in the sodium hydroxide. Okay, how many atoms of sodium, of oxygen and hydrogen. These also we are able to tell. Point number E, about molecular mass. 80 parts by weight of sodium hydroxide reacts with 98 parts by weight of sulfuric acid to produce 142 parts by weight of sodium sulfate and 36 parts by weight of water. How this came? Here what we are telling, molecular mass. Okay, we are almost to time today. We have lost a lot of time due to network issue. Okay, so maybe we will take one extra class sometime, and we will try to speed up this one. Okay, we'll try to cover some more. Okay, I will just take the attendance because we are almost time. Okay, so in the next class what we will do is we will do further this one, and maybe sometime we have to take some one extra class to speed up this. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.